Fingal there, 36k healing, actually 10k more almost across the board.
Sort of aggressive dives from the Venom as well as a damage boost can enable Star-Lord still, even though you don't get the team up from Adam Warlock anymore with those reses. Regardless, that's so much damage down range with the triple strategist as well to keep everybody healthy. For Ghost Fog, though, they have the Namor, they have the whole team up. Already consistently played that 2-2-2. Crash trying to live on the backside, does have a lot of that support, and now that Star-Lord kind of caught out of position on the top left, but that character can still be very versatile and evasive on those flanks.
Very strong map here for Emma with those off maps on the side, so it's a dangerous position to try to make plays when Emma has diamond form up. You got to break those structures there to the team to look in a different direction. Up we go now with the Galactic Legend. Does that get much value? K finds SJW, and they still are holding on here as Ghosts FOG are popping off now, playing very confident, and Alt barely an advantage. Back numbers are evened out, but down a Vanguard does not allow as much space take. SJW now onto Yebby, crash falls from Silent. SJW again on the rocket, make that 3. Really well played by SJW now onto the Phoenix, showing the power.
Here comes that boundary as well to keep them sustained as they walk in with that portal. Here comes the whale deep. Is it dodged? It looks like barely on the backside, and Charisma falls so low.
Yeah, I mean, great understanding there, focusing on the healing while still knowing you have the time to walk out of that without having to use too much speed. Are you kidding me, SJW, to clean up here on A once more, trying to end this game? Are you joking me now? They're in OT.
How did SJW find so many eliminations even through the dance floor of Beastly? Job done. Atlanta win round 1. By and head back to the spawn door because of, you know, like we mentioned, you can just play aggressive as well with the Black Panther, and you just can kind of full commit on those back lines and make sure they don't get ults off at all.
Yeah, ton of burst potential, right? You talk about the animation cancel for the melee. That is very strong in more of like a brawly situation, or if you're standing with a 2-piece now to clean up. Zero gonna find Rocket, and once more Redis is cleaning house with this Black Panther.
And this is why we talk about Black Panther as well.
We talk about domination getting point early, so well done again by Axe. We got to show some love there as ult advantage heavily up here for Ghost. We go out with Eternal Bond. Does it work out for him? Everybody on the side of Ghost is pressing Q. Do they get value? SJW somehow comes through with one through this. Are you kidding? Just still with patience. Silent gonna find Beastly. Yebby, Redis on a crash down. Goes SJW by A, and who finds one? Redis now onto Yebby. Crash onto Axri. Numbers, I think, still slightly up here for Ghost, but at this point they're being held at the door, so it is tricky. They're finally escaping, heading back towards point. 90% on. Strange portal's out. You can see a ton of protection in the front line there. Yeah, great patience there and understanding using that diamond to find some value onto the Venom. Oh, Zero gonna find AN though. Is that enough? Ghost still trying to maintain position, but down in numbers now as the reses are through for Atlanta coming back to this win. So I'm curious if that will make a change here over these next few maps.
Yeah, I think that definitely will. I mean, well, this character has always been good, I think, in pro play, and now today we're seeing exactly what happens when you have that Phoenix Protect and then, you know, sort of a Phoenix diff, some might say, on the Crash, sadly. It's not even necessarily his fault that kind of happened, but...
In Magneto with the Emma on the attack side on a flyer, so that is usually the downside of flyers, is that they're more vulnerable, but not Johnny, who can move like crazy. As we start off this fight, both teams just holding on. Notice this focus there on the Gamma Squids. Make sure you take that in the ladder with you. It will help your team a ton, making sure that those are... And does it get value? The portal comes through, and this is what you should always do. Make sure you're doing that in ladder as well. If you're a duelist or strategist, if you need to, make sure you're making that transition over to Strange. It can win you games, I promise. Crash now holding on here. Up we go with the invisible
and Emma Frost team up. SJW though finally finding a pick, and Redis is now here with the follow-up in the neutral, so this can enable them to get a hold in the street phase of the map with 4 minutes left. But honestly, this is where Psylocke should do better, so I'm curious how Ghost Fog play this upcoming fight. Atlanta finally do have some more combinations as well though with that Namor, and then can also go aggressive with the Hulk, just to constantly just sort of play on this back line, make sure they can force out ults early.
Because every angle to get around and dive the back line is very difficult, as they're all just these tight doorways. So if your team stays up like this, there's only 2 options, and that's left or right, but you're going to see them coming as Redis gets one. SJW again on to Beastly now. They are maintaining this positioning. Atlanta looking like they have woken up, and they are dove on down. Go Sticky from Redis, holding on with his Human Torch, showing the power of Torch as Crash falls once again. The team going to need to reset, and the defensive side of Atlanta not committing any ultimates there is wild. And same with Ghosts, who are playing maybe a little too passive now, trying to side of Ghosts, and that is a damage boosted well as Yemi falls from SJW once more. At this point, just biding time, looking up towards Torch, who is low. Sticky pops out here once more. Oh my goodness, cancel the Cutterfly. SJW through that insane patience finds Crash out of the sky. Beastly falls from Charisma. Zero. I think Torch is doing a great job marking, and same with SJW. I mean, this side is looking so clean. I don't even know. That is disgusting. Good patience and understanding. Not even know. You know what? Good read. And just knowing where that was going to happen from prior to the fight. SJW is not missing and just putting out so much damage here. Using that point relatively quickly.
I need to literally go back and watch this game's VOD just from SJW's perspective. I mean, that was the most dominant name war performance I think I've seen in ever. Honestly, I mean, maybe since like early days. I don't know, War of the Realms, or rather like early days MRC when Delena would pop off on Namor on the flank, but that was just front to back dominance. I mean, everybody caught these hands from SJW, whether it be the Torch in the Sky, whether it be a backline Inviswoman or the Psylocke. I don't know.
And the team just kind of collapsed heavy, and no one was getting KO'd, and everybody was finding value. So I think that helped as well as Regis is pressing forward here. Maybe this composition working a little better for this side of Atlanta, which is almost matched back and forth. Sticky going to find SJW early in the fight, and that's a nice start here for the defensive side of Ghost, who need to buy as much time as possible here on point one to make their lives easier on that point. Space taken there by the Vanguards, allowing them to press up and make this happen. The strategist line, who are just keeping everyone healthy here as they're walking, and now Rocket here is going to find one on Regis, but wow, these duelists in this match, at least in this map specifically, are looking lights out. But they look good on map one too. They really are making a name for themselves here, pushing forward in this MRC tournament.
I mean, you can't make a mistake. You gotta just play these angles better. Sort of interested in this Atlanta PXG team. I want to see that game in the in-game clients, because you can do that. Anybody can go back, watch these games in MRC back if you're a fan. If you're missing a game right now, for example, because there's so many teams, you can always go back in the in-game client and go watch these games yourself. And definitely I'll be watching this game later, Shib. And man, what a performance.